Hey, you guys, how you doing? This is Real Talk, and I'm coming to you with a new episode. And this episode is going to be, the title of this episode will be How to Proceed in America, how to exist in America today, or something like that. I don't know, I'll figure out the exact words later. Anyway, let's get started. I wanted to say that from my acknowledgement, from what I've noticed, that it seems like there's two actual lives going on. It's a duality. I mean, I'm not the only one that noticed this. Other people have spoken on this too. Well, actually, it's pretty easy to see. There's a private life going on and a public life, and it seems like we get a lot of problems mixing the two. I noticed that when I stay private, I usually do pretty good. It's only when I go out in public that's when you open yourself up to other, like, assaults or sorts, or you open yourself up to things that can happen to you, or people that can cross your path or whatever. That also occurs when you're dating other people. In my case, I would date women because I'm not into all this transsexual or all this homosexual. I'm not into all that stuff. I will never be into that stuff. And speaking of that, I've said this before and I'll say it again, that part of the reason why I can't accept homosexuals is that God says that it's you're not supposed to do that. So in accepting it, I feel that if I accept that, then I'm putting homosexuality, or the acceptance of it, before God, which breaks the first commandment. That's why I have no other gods above me. So I'm commanded by our Lord Jesus Christ and our Father in heaven and the Holy Spirit not to accept homosexuality. So now we're getting into the rough area. Now people are starting to have to make choices. Now the true Christians are going to either bow down to the system, or you're going to stand for Christ and take the persecutions that are coming your way. The reason I choose to remain private on my videos is because I want to minimize my losses. I've been in this industry a long time, in the media industry for a very long time, and I know the level of hate you can get. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's bad when you're just hated. Man, that level of hate, I don't wish that level of hate on nobody. That's how bad it's going to get. And I've witnessed it, and I've felt it, and it's been done to me already several times throughout my life. It's terrible. So that's one of the reasons why I keep my identity, at least from you guys, a secret. Now it's starting to. Now you're going to have to put your Christian faith, for those of us that believe. Now you're going to have to start proving what side you're on, because now, according to all their laws, they're now passing laws about now. The cross. If a dude thinks he's a man, thinks he's a woman, and he goes to the doctor has to treat him like if he was a she, and it's getting crazy. A third gender is now recognized for DMV, and it's crazy. It's crazy. See, to be honest with you, I guess because I've been trying to figure out what is my goal. what am I trying to accomplish with these videos? And what is it that I'm aiming at? Because because I've been hearing that one guy, like this recently, just the last couple of days, I've been, listening to the keyboard guy, the keyboard musician dude. It seems like that guy definitely seems like he's from the government, and that they set him out to destroy a bunch of people. Just by the way he talks. It's about your money. They're going to get your money. What do you care, keyboard musician? What do you care, man? Don't watch it. First off, he's telling you what you can and cannot watch. Wrong. Or he's trying to persuade you what you can and cannot watch, or what you should and should not watch. This dude right here is something else, because the more clicks that you click on, they get paid, and but he does make sense. He's saying that okay, this is what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, but hey, man, it ain't coming from your pocket, man, so what the hell do you care? What he's saying is this, though. People that go against the government, like, okay, for instance, he said Jason A. He attacked Jason A. He attacked, okay, Yash Kara, Jason A., Professor Griff, Tariq Shaheed or Shaneed or whatever that Vato's name is. I don't really follow those Vatos because they're all in that consciousness, new age, baloney stuff. And I don't really like none of that stuff because it's all fake and it's all demonic. They have like this, like they have it to where they're saying something, but they're not really saying nothing. All they're doing is repeating all the demonic junk that's out there already, just in a different format. But anyway, his thing is this, that the same things that they're saying about an evil government, they're getting paid off the video by monetizing it from the advertisers. Okay? So the same entity that they're speaking out against, they're getting paid from. So in reality, the keyboard dude is right. It's just that some of his approaches are kind of bad, because he just be hating on them. And he's trying to, then he's trying to, persuade people not to watch those videos or whatever. But see that, nah, bro. As far as the First Amendment goes, I'm talking about the federal Constitution. Excuse me, I got to sneeze. Sorry about that. I have a stuffy nose. Sorry about that. As far as the First Amendment goes, we have the right to freedom of the speech, and we just have our freedoms. We have we can select anything, and besides, even though these I don't agree with Yash Kara, and I don't agree with all those dudes, they do have valuable info in there. You just got to discern which is good and which is garbage. That's all. I listen to everybody because everybody's got some kind of take on what's going on in America and in the world today, which brings me back to how to survive in today's America. I guess that'll be the title: How to Survive in Today's America, How to Function in Today's America, something like that. From what I've gathered, it seems like corporate is always looking to rip us off in some form or another. Just for example, and I know this is trivial, and you guys might laugh at me because you think I'm a dumbass. But I went shopping the other day, and I pick up this package. First off, I'm not supposed to be getting packaged stuff because anything in a package has chemicals in it. It's called delicious chemicals. I can't really say what it is because I might get sued by those food dudes, and I don't want to get sued by those vatos. But So I pick up this thing of teriyaki something or other, teriyaki chicken something or other, and it says 32 ounces on the bottom. So I'm there looking at the 32 ounces, and I got it in my hand, and I'm thinking, okay, this is about 32 ounces, and I look at that, and it was like $5. Okay, so I'm like, that's a pretty good price for 2 pounds worth of meat or whatever, product in here. So I get a couple of them, throw in my thing. That was about a week ago. Then I come back last night, and I go to open it, and I opened it up. Come to find out that it has 3 packages of 3.5 ounces worth of the sauce. So right there, it was already like 11.5 ounces of pure sauce and water. So needless to say, by 2 pounds of product turned into 1 pound. I thought, wow. And here's the kicker. Right, it said right on the front of the package that it was going to have that. I just didn't read it. See, usually everything is on the packaging. We just don't read it. We just take things for granted, and that's what they're hoping. That's what they're relying on, is we're taking things for granted. What once was, we feel that it should be today, and it's not like that anymore. That's what all this Mandela effect stuff is about. The Mandela effect stuff, I still maintain that we all heard certain verses and we're repeating what we've heard. I know firsthand. I was taught when I was a child, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into on the Lord's Prayer. And then when I read it, it said debts. And even then I thought, wow, this is not what we were taught. So, I mean, I'm not questioning people. I'm not, saying that people are not telling the truth, because this is another tap on the Mandela thing. We have 3 sets of people out there, from what I can gather. We have the government psyop dudes that are spreading all the garbage, because that's their job, is to go out there and spread all this Mandela effect junk out there and get everybody all crazy. Tell him, look over there. It changed. That's what they're there to do. So they're paid agents, paid disinfo agents, paid, government shields, all that junk. The Alex Joneses and all those vatos are paid to be doing what they do. We got those type of vatos out there. Then we got the second part, which is the actual sheeple, where they don't know what to think, because they're battling for their attention and for their mind. Like what do I do? Yeah, it did change. Yeah. Look at the Fruit Loop box. It's OO now, and then, yeah, so big deal. It's OO, UOI, who cares? But they're battling for their attention, and for them to to see if they can get them to mindfully to get their mind away from them, have them flipping out. The one that really concerns me is they're messing with the Bible. Then we got the photo helix dude. You guys are tripping. What he's saying is that they have gone back into time and changed the wording, and we do see that. I was a big fan until I stopped messing with that stuff. But back when I was younger, I used to love the show Quantum Leap, and I used to check out the show. I didn't really love it, but I used to check out the show in '95. I think it was Sliders. Jerry O'Connell and his brother, whatever is the 2 O'Connell brothers, and in each one of those shows, it spoke of time travel. Actually, Sliders was sliding between dimensions, which is what they're talking about. Quantum Leap specifically was time travel, so you went back in time and you switched. If you went back far enough, you can switch something in time, and then it would change in the future. Now, could they possibly are doing this? Yeah, I mean, they're tampering around with things that they're not supposed to be messing with. So why would we think that they can't do this? Okay, now this is one of the reasons, just for the naysayers out there, this is one of the reasons why I will not accept the Mandela effect. But it's going to happen whether I accept it or not. Okay, because they're doing this whether we accept it or not. Okay, but this is my stance on it. I refuse the Mandela effect just like I refuse the homosexuality thing, because ding, 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 because God said so. Okay? That's why I'm refusing it. And accepting this Mandela effect thing, I'm accepting the fact that the Bible has been changed, and now we can't depend on the Word of God, and now the Word of God is not there anymore. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to give up my Bible for, these supposed changes that are occurring. And, although I must admit that unicorns is in the Bible now, and stuff, and piss, and all that seems really, really odd to me. And they always go after the King James versions of the Bible. But hey, all I know is that the great deception is upon us now. And the Amish have it right, except for their order nung, where they won't let the actual Amish people read the Bible so that they can decipher things. I guess because they want to keep everybody in check, in order. So see, at every turn, whenever there's power involved, whenever there's a lot of money and power involved, there's always corruption. It always goes hand in hand. That's one of the reasons why God doesn't want us to worry about building wealth, because there's always corruption involved. It always goes hand in hand. Because in order for you to have wealth, you have to be powerful. And in order for you to be powerful, you have to obtain wealth. And in order for you to obtain wealth, you need workers. And in order to have workers, you have to provide security and benefits. But then you also need, in the current system, you need, most likely when you have a corporation, not any one man owns the corporation, but the stockholders. And part of the agreement of the stockholders is that you have to constantly be making a profit. Now, at first, when things start, they bring you in. Oh yeah, part of my company. Yeah, and they're going to treat you all right and treat you all good, and everything's all hunky dory. And you get in there, and let's say you get in at $15 an hour. Okay, so now you're in there $15 an hour, and they hired 10 employees, and then just over time, everything is hunky dory, and you being the owner of, Microsoft, we'll call it, not Microsoft, but Microsoft. It's a fictional company. So at Microsoft, you have this computer company, and you got the 10 employees at $15 an hour. And then over time, you give them bonuses and raises because, these dudes are doing good for you. So that started in, let's say, 1980 or 89 or 80, 1980. Yeah, by 1990, they done built that $100,000 company into a $5 million company. Okay. And some of those 10 employees, some of them, a couple of them left because they had other opportunities from other sources. The rest kind of stuck around. But as you started hiring new employees, you didn't hire them at $15 no more. You came in on the minimum wage, and I forget what the minimum wage back in the 80s was or in the 90s was, but it was not $15 an hour. It was more like 10 or 12 or 8. See, so as the hiring process goes, you keep dropping in and dropping in and dropping in and dropping it. And then once you see that you're stabilized in the business that you're in, you start eliminating all the high paying, that's what corporate does. They're always looking for ways to to carve off, expenses, and usually that means employees. And ultimately, it turns into one guy at the top ruling the dudes on the bottom, and cracking whips, slavery style. That's what it turns out to be. So, and that's exactly where we find ourselves now. Many people find themselves now. Now, me, on the other hand, I've been fortunate to a degree that I've been able to do a bunch of things, but all it really taught me was that I shouldn't be doing these things, and that I should turn my attention to the Lord, like He told me to do it at the beginning. But I was stubborn and hard-headed. So anyway, in order to function in today's America, I would say this: limit your access to corporations. If there's anything you can do for yourself, do it yourself. And many people are starting to take that advice, good, because now they won't even sell us land to put our little tiny homes on, because that's what I'm into. See, the tiny home people got it down, but now they're all pissed off. Well, we're not going to give you the land. You need X amount of square footage. Yeah, why are they telling us how many square footage and all that junk? Well, you know why? Because they can't make no money. That's why. Because they're, and that already exposes the fraud of what's really going on. See, they're not our masters, but they think they are. You see, the elite is up there, and they got all these minions down here. And by minions, I'm talking about the governors and the county commissioners and all these buttholes down here, claiming, because they think that we're their wards of the court. Now, I don't want to get into all the legal junk again, but that's what through the birth certificate, you're a ward of the court. You're a dumbass that you can't own land. According to the elites, that's what the birth certificate and the Social Security does towards you. But anyway, now they won't even sell you the land because you have a tiny house. You have a 200 square foot house. It looks that's retarded. You can't live in that. Or don't tell me what I can do. This is America. Remember, the land of the free. It says right there in the first article there that we have a we have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm free. I don't have any shackles on me. You see. So. But anything you can do for yourself, do it yourself. That means raising your own food, living tiny. If that's feasible for you, then do that. Anytime there's an interaction with another person, you're opening up yourself to drama and to some type of problem. I limit my actions toward the government. I really don't like dealing with government at all. I don't like dealing with people in the government. I don't like post offices. I don't like courthouse dudes. I don't like nobody that's in the government. And it's nothing personal against that person. It's the actual agencies. I don't like to deal with those people. Because the people in there, I hate to say it, but they've sold out. They've sold out because either they do what the agency says or they find themselves out of a job. So of course they're gonna go where their bread is buttered on. They're gonna go on the side of the agency and follow their rules and their policies and all that crap. Even though those rules and policies violate constitutional laws and God's laws. Thus, that's why the Mandela effect is attacking the Bible. Because they're trying to get rid of God's laws. Now we're dealing with a mass deception here. That's what all that Mandela effect junk is about. It's a mass deception. But I guess the end of the story is this, because I got to hop off this thing. My nose is all stuffed up. Anything you can do for yourself nowadays, between now until the end, do it for yourself. Now, all the prep about those, they have it right to a degree. Except for the only thing is they've written laws to where they can bust in your house and just confiscate everything. So while you're storing your basement, they can just show up and say, "We want your basement." And then what you're going to do? They got guns, and according to all these hoax shootings, Sandy Hook, the one down in Florida, the recent one down in Florida, San Bernardino, the one in Colorado, the Batman one, the Boston bombing, you know, based on all these false flag events where they're constantly, oh, we got to take those guns, we got to take those guns. See, now they're taking the guns away so they can show up with their guns. See, they don't want to take their guns, but they want to take ours. You see how that works? It's not. See how everything's unequal. We're in a satanic government. The government is satanic. I mean, I hate to say that because it sounds counterproductive based on God's laws, but along with power comes corruption. Limit your limit your assets. And there's ways to do it, and I'm working on that right now. As soon as I get better, I got to proceed with that because I'm lagging on that part. So I might be off of here for a good long while. So I'm just gonna leave these last videos, and I probably won't post for a good while because that's gonna take an extensive amount of research for me. Side note. But limit your assets. Do I mean to go broke? No, don't go broke, and don't starve, and don't suffer needlessly. No. Tiny house it, if that's possible for you. Try to buy a piece of land and work it however you can to get your tiny house onto the land, because they're going to give you a lot of crap about that. Some places are letting it in, other places are saying no. I don't know, it's just something that you got to deal with, and hopefully you can get it done to where you're within a good distance to the city. But here's the real thing. Do you know that we're not even supposed to be in the city? Where you tell me, like, the city represents like Babylonia and all that stuff because we want to trade and all of that. I mean, how can I say? We're supposed to grow our own food, but we don't. The banking, well, I mean, what did they do before the banking system? There was barter. I guess I traded my eggs for your chickens, or I don't know, your pigs, or I don't know, you fixed my house and I gave you some pigs, or I don't know, something, whatever. It was always like this barter system going. And they used to pay the doctor with chickens and stuff, because there was a bartering system going on. So now that is ended because of the monetary system, which ultimately got corrupted. See, so all I know is that the more assets you have, the more problems you're going to have. Now, do I mean that you have to be assetless, or that you don't need to have assets? No, I don't mean that at all. Because there is a way to deal with there is a way to deal with the assets, but I'll have to cover that in a separate video later. It won't be anytime soon. But it just limit your assets, limit your access to people, because people have spirits with them. And 9 times out of 10, from what I gather, it's always the negative one. It's always the evil side that's dominant. I'm not saying everybody's evil. I'm just saying that people choose that one more than they choose the good side. There's a lot of good people in the world, but if they're not tuned to our Lord Jesus Christ, then yeah, you're gonna be going up the stream without any paddle. Anyway, this thing is getting too long, so I'm gonna have to hop off this thing. Well, this is going to be my last video for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye right now, man, because I'm doing like I'm really sick and then I'm not feeling too hot. Plus, this is going to be a lot of other study time for me in the next few weeks. So I'll have to catch up with you guys next time. I'll have to catch up with you guys a little bit later. Okay. So this is real talk. I'll catch up to you guys when I catch up to you guys. Okay. Take care.